Welcome back
Day
to the
two.
monthly Cardinal Financial webinar. We have, one of our top branches and top producers on, so this is a good call to kind of get his insight on what we're doing. We have John Lopresti with us, and your father is one of our partners as well, so we have some more insight to what goes on with you in life, probably more than we need. But you're one of the best guys that I know here, so it's great to have you on this.
Yeah, he's kind of got a big mouth, so definitely tells you a little way too much.
John, welcome on. I'm excited. This is one of my most exciting interviews because seeing John grow personally and professionally, maybe more so than anybody that we have in the group, and we have a lot of big producers in the group. I mean, just as a for instance, John is sitting in my office in the Melville office right now. That's the office that was once mine, and he is now commandeered. So background, I miss it already, but it's in good hands.
I appreciate you guys having me on the call right now. I've been working with Frankie now for about 8 years, 7 years, whatever it's been, and started with him as just an LO taking phone calls, and growing with him, both of us growing together has really been a special thing. And Frank's taught me pretty much everything I know in the business, along with my father, and then adding the partners as Ralph and Tommy to add another dimension of, helping to pick my brain on stuff that I can go to Tommy with some stuff and go to Ralph with some stuff, Jimmy, Frank. I mean, it's all really helped me grow, individually and also as the team as well too. So I just want to thank you guys.
No, man. And I think the modesty has to end there, because let's talk some turkey, where you're at versus where you were when you started Cardinal, or, from a production standpoint only. We'll talk about life after that, but, give us some insight, and, you don't have to be jerk about it, but you don't have to be modest either. Where are you right now, individually as a team? How many employees, how many loans, what's the trajectory for the year? I mean, it's done some really good stuff. Let's hear about it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing right now is where I am right now is that, today is a Wednesday at the end of the month, and I'm leaving here at 6 o'clock to go have dinner with my wife. And, that's something that's never happened ever in my career. And, it's kind of a luxury to have right now. But as far as production and as far as team, when we came over to Cardinal literally 3 years ago to the date, pretty much, it was my first crack at running a team and being a producing manager. And it started just, me and my partner, 2 other guys, and, we were doing just $3 million a month. Fast forward 3 years later, we're doing $25 million a month, and, 4 or 5 people now are, 35 people, to the point where we've taken, the stand in 2020 and 2021. Yes, obviously we took advantage of the low rates and we got as much business in as we can. Added new realtors, showed them what we could do. And, that was the focal point. But, also what we were able to do is take kids straight out of college, which is very rare these days, at 23 years old, that really have no background in the mortgage business. And our goal was to really grow the team and grow them as individuals to be an LO. And we just had an interview. We just had a meeting with the team, a sales meeting this week. And, just talking about how proud of all of them we are, is because 12 months ago, they could barely spell mortgage. I mean, they still probably can't, but they can, they could shoot the shit and they understand what the process is. And, we've taken, 10, 15 guys, straight out of college and, really knew nothing about the business, that are all closing 10, 15 deals a month.
Yeah, it's crazy you say that, because when I met you and you came over, like I had heard a lot about you before you got here, and you were one of the better producers at that point with Frank, but at a much lower level, right? Like, and it's like what you were doing then is what you have 4 or 5 guys doing now. So it's pretty interesting over 3 years to see that. If I would have told you this 3 years ago, you would have been like, I got a lot of work to do. You know what I mean? Like,
I've also mellowed out. I think 3 years ago, I thought I was some top producer just doing a couple $1 million a month, walking around and, talking trash to everybody. But
it's good because, the team that we put together, and I say it all the time, John included, all the way on up and down the list, everybody could write their own ticket. Any bank in the world would bring you guys in and want you to lead the way. Everybody's here because they want to be here. And we actually have meetings, some of which, John has chaired, where guys that are producing speak to the rest of the group and say, hey, here's how I did it. It might not be the only way. It might not be the best way, but I'll give you my story. and help, iron sharpen iron. And I think that being around that is humbling, but it's also positive because you're not always going to be on top. The market's not always going to be in your favor. Your deals aren't always going to, whatever the case may be, but you could look around and there's people always around that are inspiring and motivating. And I think that helps you be a better person and a better business person because of it. You mentioned before that it's a Wednesday. Not only is it a Wednesday, but it's the last day of the month.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
refis. And again, we talked about this on other calls, but like John knows because he lived that world. Last day of the refi month in previous lifetimes, we were, you want to come around
10 p.m. at night.
So not only are you leaving early on a Wednesday, you didn't even realize the last day of the month because everything's flowing, and because you were able to transition while everybody else was trying to scoop up those visa refis. You guys transitioned to the agent business and to grow, like you said, producers. So it was good use of your time and energy.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've grown our ops staff a tremendous amount. We're actually able to bring somebody in from corporate that was, taking a stance and wanted to leave the corporate side of things, and, well respected, has been here from the very beginning when Octane first started. So, knows, everybody within corporate, all our underwriters, and she wanted to come join our team, which, we thought was, it was
Speaks volumes, man.
Yeah, it was very, it was a special moment. So, now she's running the ops, and, it's all just kind of flowing right now to make things a lot easier, to the point where right now, Mike and I are just kind of sitting back and trying to do more, biz dev roles and bring in more business for the guys and just keep growing and growing.
Yeah. I think that brings up a good point that, I always say about Frank and I, and this definitely applies to you, is that we got put in a call because of the technology and the support and all that stuff where we can do what we're best at every single day. And I think when you got here, you probably didn't even know what you were best at. And what you're really best at is business development, right? And growing other people around you. And you really do that every single day now. Like, you're not like in your pipeline every second of every single day. You're out to kind of be out and building business. So like, your highest and the best use is being used here every single day. Can you just talk a little bit about that? Like, you're getting to do what you want to do every single day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 3 years ago, if you told me that on a Monday afternoon, I would be going to a golf outing for, for a sponsorship that I needed to attend, and, be out of the office all day long, I would say there's absolutely no shot. I couldn't do it. But now it's, golf has become a major part of Mike and I's, part on business and growing the business. Is, a lot of deals are made on the golf course, but, it's just the ability to be able to be out of the office all day and things are still running smoothly. Almost like the next man up mentality is like, we don't need to be here for the business to still run. Ops is able to keep doing what they're doing on the ops end. Octane and the support that we have within, not only our team, but within the division, is that things are able to run smoothly, where we can go out for the day and, all business related, but be able to go out all day, really not be able to be by your phone for that day, and know that business is still getting done and things are still moving.
That's awesome.
And we're going to speak, we mentioned a lot about John's partner, Mike, and we're going to speak to him also individually, and then we're going to circle back with these guys as a team. But, it's no different than Ralph and I. Mike's a young, energetic, up and coming guy that is probably the best in the entire division at networking and getting people to like him outside the office.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you, he has some deficiencies on the inside of the office with, maybe, paying attention to file quality and stuff like that, but he's gotten so much better at that stuff and grown as well. But he uses John to balance him out. No different than what Ralph and I were able to do with, working inside and outside. I'm nowhere to be found on social media. Ralph does not want to log into Octane as much as, so you're able to have two superstars under the same roof, in Mike and John in this case. And that's, unheard of, right? It's unheard of in other opportunities, because there's just not enough time in the day. You can't, run your business, bring files from desk to desk to try and get them clear to close, try to network, split the money. It doesn't work. It only works in scale. And I guess what I'm trying to get at is John's business is built for scale. So when Mike and John finish this month at, 25, 26 million, wherever they're going to be, they're already positioned. You heard him say it. He's got 35 people, including operations managers. 35 people for 25 million is unacceptable in my world, and in John's and Ralph's, I'm sure, as well. But the reason why he has 35 people is because our expectation by the end of 2020 is to be at 45 million a month and be there already and scale up. And that's what we're working toward. We always bet on ourselves. We hire good people when we see them, even if the business isn't ready yet. But we know that we're going to be able to go out there and scoop market share, and it's happening right around us.
Right. And I think that's one of the first things that, Frank, you really taught me is that, you got to build the foundation first, right? Just like building a house, the foundation needs to be set. So, invest in the ops, invest in the LOAs, invest in the business development roles, invest in, whoever you need to invest in, that once the business starts flowing in, you're set up for that scale.
Yeah, you don't want to be reactive. You always want to be proactive. And you guys do a
Exactly.
that, Mike and John make personal sacrifices to be able to build that, and it's paying dividends. And the guys know it. They have a loyal, I feel like I walk in, I'm the grandfather. Like, these guys are all hungry. He's got, men, women, everybody under the sun is there, and they're all pulling under the same flag, and they love working for you guys. So kudos to that. Only good things, only growth. John is one of the examples, and this is one last thing that we could touch upon. One of the examples in betting on himself and being so confident that he has friends and family that work with him, right? That is not a thing that usually happens in the mortgage business, because the mortgage business is usually a nasty place, and wears the black eye, and you don't want to bring people into this world, right? You don't want to bring people into a world where it's dog eat dog, or you're embarrassed of the company that you work for. You don't want to really show, what your daily routine is. There are a lot of guys out there that have great Instagrams, but if you sat with them every day and saw what they actually do and the people they were around, might not be the person that you would want to be. You guys break that mold. You have friends and family that have come to you. Not only have you given them a position, but they are productive, profitable, and their lives are changing because of it in a positive way. And again, that's a testament to what you built.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think we have 5 or 6 family members, right? And half of them are on the sales side of things. So first of all, it's, one of them is married to my sister. So I would not bring him in here if I didn't think that my sister could be provided a very good and strong life. So yeah, I appreciate it. That's one of the things that we're most proud of, is that, it's growing up under the environment that you put out there to us, Frank, is that, it was all family, right? And, you've been working with the same group of people for 20 years now. That doesn't happen in this industry, and it happens for a reason, because we are family. So that's one of the things that we always stress to a lot of these guys. And, that's the culture that we've made. It's a family business.
And I've even seen some of your producers then bring on family business. I've even seen some of your producers then bring on their friends and family and say, like, yo, man, you got to get involved in this. It's great. It's fun. It's rewarding. It's not a desk job. It's not a punch clock job. And again, that's how you're doing the right things. And I know I've said this before to Dean and some others, but for as little time as they've had in the business, as much success as they've had, they've also stayed level in knowing that there's a lot more to go, and doing the right things with the people around them, because it's all about how many lives you could change and touch, not about how much money you make on the paycheck side of things.
100%.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate your time, man. I know you're busy, and like you said, you got to get home to the wife for dinner, and happy wife, happy life. So if I taught you anything, date night is the most important night.
That's right.
Thanks again, Johnny. Good stuff, man.
No problem. I appreciate everything, guys.
Thank you, bro.
Later.